Hi everybody, this is Ospreyeye from MyChartCoach.com. We're going to take a look at some of the ticker symbols that were in play today. Okay, first up is TZA. Okay, this is the daily small cap bear 3 times. This is basically shorting the small caps here, and so what's going on is a new uptrend started back here on the end of July with the close above the middle Bollinger Band, and after turning the middle Bollinger Band into support, it was able to turn this 50-day simple moving average into support. The green line currently at 1629. Okay, that's the key level to hold. Notice how there were a couple of closes above that level, and then a nice gap up open today. The upper Bollinger Band is signaling more upside potential. It's pointing upward here. We're looking at the next target as the 100-day simple moving average at 1722. Okay, so with DZA running, and breaking out above the 50-day simple moving average, that is putting pressure on the small caps. If you look at the IWM, okay, this is the Russell 2000, and notice it was down almost 1% today. It is extreme oversold levels now down here on Fasto. It's currently at 8.54, so it's very oversold levels. You could see here with minus DI breaking out here above plus DI and ADX that the bears have taken control. And so this chart broke down back here when the middle Bollinger Band support level broke, and then it came down, and then it broke 50-day simple moving average support last week. It failed to get back above that level, and then it came down today, and it tested the 100-day simple moving average, currently at 138. So that's going to be the key level to hold. It needs to bounce off this level. If it bounces, you could see this gap fill here and a run back up to the 50-day simple moving average. Notice how candles are riding EMA4 resistance lower, currently at about 140 here. It needs to break that level. If EMA4 remains resistance and the 100-day simple moving average fails to hold, you could see a drop all the way down here to the 200-day simple moving average at 135. If IWM is heading down and under pressure and forming candles below the 50-day simple moving average in the middle Bollinger Band, that is a signal that it is currently in a downtrend. If IWM is in a downtrend, that means that the small caps that we like to follow and that we cover are going to be under pressure and going to have a hard time having sustained runs. They can pop on news, some can have a catalyst to head higher, but for the most part, they are under pressure right now. If you haven't noticed, a lot of the small caps are not running right now, and this is the reason why. Look at IWM. The bears are attacking. When the bears attack, this is one way you can do it, is by going long TZA. Okay, so if the small caps are under pressure, TZA is heading higher. And so notice how this hasn't quite made it to the 100-day simple moving average. Back here in May, it closed above that level, but it failed to hold. So if it gets above the 100-day simple moving average and turns that into support, you could see a big run up to the 200-day simple moving average at 19. So this is going to be the huge resistance level here. This is where it could stall out, and you could get a bounce on IWM. Okay, so if resistance breaks for TZA and support breaks for IWM, you could see a bigger pullback here for the small caps and a bigger correction for the markets. With the small caps under pressure and lagging, they're down much further than the Dow Jones Industrial Average. They're down a lot further than the SPY, relatively. Those are, and along with the Nasdaq, they are just breaking the middle Bollinger Band or testing the 50-day simple moving average. So right now, the Russell 2000 is well ahead of them on this downward spiral. And so keep an eye on it. If it remains under pressure, it's going to be hard for the penny stocks to get moving. Okay, so now let's look at OPTT. Okay, we're talking about penny stocks here, and what's going on is it had a nice move today. This had a very bullish development. There is still room to run on RSI here at 62. It's not at the 70 overbought level. Fasto is now above 80, so it is at overbought levels. Notice that the last time it was above 80 was also the last time, if you look down here on the chart, that it closed above the 50-day simple moving average. That is the green line, currently at 135. So today there was a close above the 50-day simple moving average. For the last time that happened was back here in July, and before July, you had to go back here in April, when it was briefly above that level. So the last two times, if you go back here and then you go here in July, it's failed to hold that level, and that could very well happen again here tomorrow. It could fail to hold support and pull back below that level. So going forward, candles forming above 135 and the 50-day simple moving average are going to signal more upside potential, and that's going to put the 100-day simple moving average at 156 and the bottom of the gap. There's a gap back here in April. The bottom of this candle here is the top of the gap, and the top of this candle, the top of the wick, is the bottom of the gap. And so currently the bottom of the gap level will be the big level to break, and that's right below the 100-day simple moving average. So this is going to be a big resistance zone, between this 150 to 155 level. And so if it can get above that, then you could be talking about a potential gap fill in the run up to $2. So yeah, so this is a nice play, nice setup here. We've been watching this for a while. We'll see here if it can get a uptrend going. It needs to turn that middle Bollinger Band, currently at 129, into support to get a new uptrend going. It's been in this sideways, slightly downtrending channel, and so it looks like it's trying to break above that. Notice that it closed right at this descending resistance line as well. So you want to see that along with horizontal resistance turn into support. Okay, the high close here on the 12th is a key level to break as well. That's lined up with the upper wick. Notice that it was the largest volume day since all the way back here in May 8th. And there was a parabolic SAR bullish flip. And then you've got MACD down here bouncing off of the signal line on both time frames. So the chart's really heating up. We just have to see if it can follow through. Okay, let's look at BITCF. Okay, this stock is made a really nice 3-day run here. It is at 79 now on RSI. If you look back here on previous runs, it kept heading higher, with RSI, running up all the way above 90. So it, it's just breaking above 70. It has a history of being able to sustain above that level. So we'll see if it can do that again. We've got Fasto now above 80. You can see the big breakout on ADX with plus DI pushing above 40. And so if you look at the chart here, you can see it's on a nice 3-day run. Okay, and so it broke above the closing price here on the 17th of April, and so that was a nice close. The next key level to close above is the closing price on the 18th of April, and so that's currently at 75 cents. So if it fails to break 75, you could see it pull back. Today it did close well above the upper Bollinger Band, which is currently at 0.525, and that's also lined up with EMA 4, basically at 51.4 here, the pink line, the pink and purple lines. And so if the share price pulls back, you could see it come back and test that level. There is a gap between high of day yesterday and low of day today, so it dropped down to EMA 8 at 455 would fill the gap. So just keep that in mind. If the share price does pull back, 455 would be the target on a pullback. On the upside, 75 is the upside target, next target. If it can break that level, then you could see the upper wick on this candle at 85 tested. As long as candles are forming above the middle Bollinger Band and the 50-day simple moving average currently at 0.386, then this uptrend should continue. Okay, notice how it had really tight Bollinger Bands, and it's breaking out of the upside, to the upside with following the tight Bollinger Bands. Many times explosive moves happen when that happens, and so we're looking at a potential break here to dollar land if it can get above the 75 level. Notice it's got a nice increasing volume pattern. This is the last chart that we posted on here, and then you could see how MACD, last time we posted this chart, it had just bull crossed, and now it's really heating up and breaking out. out nicely. Okay, so yeah, since BITCF is performing so well, there's other Bitcoin stocks that have been doing good as along with BITCF, and one is BTCS. And you can see here it's been trying to turn this 200-day simple moving average into support, currently at 10 cents. And so we want to see that level hold. That's this red line here. And if it can stay above that level, it could run up here and test this 12.5. Now it's got to get past the high close from 2 days ago, basically just below 12 cents. So this 12.5 zone is going to be a big level to break. If it can get above that, then 14.5 is the big level. That was the close here on this doji. So it was nice that it pulled back. It formed a bearish dark cloud cover yesterday, and then it quickly bounced today and formed a white candle. So that was a nice recovery, and it's closed 2 days in a row above EMA 4, 3 days in a row above EMA 4, multiple days. So it's got a nice uptrend going. We just want to see it stay above the 200-day simple moving average and push higher. Keep an eye on BTSC. Okay, so this is another Bitcoin stock, but it has not performed yet in this rally. It's actually pulled back the last couple of days, so it's been consolidating here. For some reason, it has not taken off, even when Bitcoin was running. It's just been trading sideways. So what we're looking for is a break above the middle Bollinger Band at 0.066, and then the big level we want to see close above is the 50-day simple moving average at 0.078. When candles are forming above both those levels, that should be the signal that it's ready to finally take off higher, and then we could be talking about 10 cents and up here at 14 cents. But right now, it needs to get back above the middle Bollinger Band, above the 50-day simple moving average to be in play. I would say keep an eye on BTSC. It's lagging behind the other two. Notice how they broke out, so you could see it play a little bit of catch up. Notice how this had a similar kind of pattern before it broke out. So yeah, keep an eye on it. Okay, let's look at DEWM. Okay, this is a marijuana sector play. It had some news today. It's coming off of oversold levels down here on Fasto. It just broke back above 20, and it had a bullish crossover. And so basically this was a technical bounce off of the 50-day simple moving average here, currently at 0.0083. It needs to hold that level to remain in play. It closed right above EMA 4 at 0.0089. It needs to stay above EMA 4 and then get through these EMAs to head higher and follow through. Okay, so it had a nice move today. It's trying to head higher. We're going to see if it can. Going forward, candles forming above the 50-day simple moving average are going to signal more upside potential. If there's a close below and it turns into resistance, you could see a big drop down here to 0.0052. So keep an eye on DEWM. Okay, take a look at SING. Okay, this is another marijuana sector play. I should have had the larger chart. Sorry about that. It's a little bit difficult to see, but this gold line here, the 100-day simple moving average at 0.035, it has been a big resistance level. So it's been working on turning it into support for the last couple of weeks, and it closed back above that level today. So this is signaling more upside potential. It's holding the 200-day simple moving average at 0.034. Okay, if you look here, the moving averages are all converged between 0.025 and 0.0035, and so, or 36 with EMA 4, and so breaking above the 100-day simple moving average would put it above all the moving averages, so it would be very bullish. And so it's got this very nice uptrend going. So what we want to see now is a break above this high close here at the end of July, about 0.0047. If that happens, then you could see 6 on deck. You have this resistance from back here in April, and so going forward for this play, if the candles are forming above this 100 and 200-day simple moving averages, that's going to signal more upside potential. If it drops below those levels, you could see it pull back and test that middle Bollinger Band. The 350-day simple moving average is at 0.025. Okay, and then let's look at quickly here at a couple of OTC stocks, BVTK, it followed through yesterday. We alerted that after a multi-day drop, we alerted in the chat that it formed bullish Harami reversal pattern. That pattern was confirmed yesterday, and it closed above EMA's 4 and 8, and then it had nice follow through today. So it's on a 3-day run quietly. The next big target is 0.0075. If it can close above that level, then it could be headed for penny land. So keep an eye on it. This has had good money flow and a good uptrend going. And then finally, look at PLPL. This is another marijuana sector play. So they have a South African medical marijuana facility they're trying to get going, and they've applied for a license. So that apparently, that's coming close. They're thinking, according to their press release, that they're going to get the license. If that press release comes, you could see a pop in the share price. So keep an eye on it. It is above EMA's 4 and 8 down here, and at the bottom of the chart, if you look at the 1-year chart, you could see here, it's come all the way back down to this key support level. So this was a big support. So it's retraced all the way down to there. So yeah, this is looking interesting with the news that's supposed to be coming. If they don't get the news, then that could be bad for the share price, and you could see it drop further. If they get the news, that could be a catalyst for a nice bounce and a run. Okay, thank you very much for viewing this video. Check us out at mychartcoach.com and our YouTube channel at mychartcoach.com for more charts and technical analysis.